No objection.
All right, we're on the record. It is May 29th, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 1. Can I please have the parties announce themselves for the record?
Coffee Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
Brian Wynn on behalf of the Office of Public Defender.
All right, please tell me your name.
Calvin Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, you're here in 2019 CF 1, is it 7733? 7733AO. And it looks like the state's filed as an adult in this case. Is there an information file?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is it the same charges in the, I have in the warrant, the robbery with a firearm, grand theft, third degree, and fraudulent use of credit cards?
I have 1 second.
Okay,
Put that
I
up.
didn't see information, so.
2019 CJ 1274.
It's,
I'm just gonna have to find the information.
yeah, it's not letting me pull up the juvenile, it's like,
So I have the information filed on 5/23. I have count 1, robbery with a firearm, F1 PBL. Attempted robbery, count 2. Count 3, accessory after the fact, the first degree or life felony, F2. Grand theft, third degree, count 4. Count 5, fraudulent use of a credit card to obtain more than $100 in value, F3. Count 5. Count 6, unlawful possession of a stolen credit card or debit card, F3. So it looks like, yes, they match up.
all right. Well, oh, but no, there's only 3 counts in the warrant.
I have 6 on mine.
Oh, okay, well, I guess I'm looking at the warrant from the from the first arrest.
Okay.
Okay, all right. All right, so Mr. Williams, the state's filed an information charging you with robbery with a firearm, attempted robbery, accessory after the fact, to a first-degree life felony, grand theft, third degree, fraudulent use of a credit card, unlawful possession of a stolen credit card. Are those the charges? There's just 6 of them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
just 6.
all right. And I am gonna, did you fill out a form for the public defender, Mr. Williams? Or has the PD already been appointed to represent you?
I have a private attorney on my case, Roger
a-
Whedon.
Roger Whedon? Okay, all right, Mr. Whedon is not present. State, would you like to be heard as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking the defendant be held at no bond as to count 1. Based on the information I have, is that the victim was walking in front of the Hyatt Regency Hotel off of I Drive when 3 black males approached her, attempted to steal her purse. When she refused to give her purse, one of the black males wearing a hood and gold teeth pulled out a semi-automatic handgun and pointed it in her face. The victim then relinquished her purse and the suspects ran away. Short time after, at the outlet malls, the defendant and his co-defendants were seen entering, I believe it's the Lacoste store. They used the victim's credit card. They used it at a number of stores in the outlet mall, the S&P Shoe Palace, Lacoste, Ralph Lauren, and the defendant and co-defendants are seen on the video in at least 2 of the stores, I believe. At the same time, her credit cards are being used. Another attempted robbery takes place with these same suspects, and they are identified based on the video. When the defendant's room is searched after he is arrested, I believe a number of the outfits that were seen bought at the stores, the outlet, were found in the defendant's room. When the defendant was arrested, he had the victim's cell phone on him. Based on all of that information, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond.
All right.
No
And in-
contact, I'm sorry.
Yeah, And there is additional information in the warrant as to him on Facebook Live or Facebook videos wearing the same identifiable clothing and gold removable teeth, pointing the semiotic firearm at the camera. So there's a lot of information here, and I do find proof evident presumption great based on everything that's in the affidavit and the state's arguments. So I am gonna hold you at no bond, Mr. Williams, on the robbery with the firearm. I'm gonna keep the subsequent offenses as listed in the capias or the transport order at 150 in counts 2 through 6. These are your conditions of, well, you're not gonna be released at this time, but these are your conditions. So you're not to return back to that outlet store. Do we know the specific name of the outlets? I'm like trying to find it. Just Orlando Premium Outlets at 4951 International Drive. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or any co-defendant.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so just keep in touch with Mr. Whedon, okay?
Your Honor.
All right, please tell me your name.
Hold on.
Mr. Lozado, you're here in 2019 CF 7663AO. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and battery. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition.
Yes,
Your
ma'am.
bond will stay set at $3,500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Michael Daniel Henderson.
Mr. Henderson, you're here in 2019 MO 1034AO, and you're arrested for possession and consumption of alcohol in a public place. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. Is there an offer for Mr. Henderson?
Vacation credit for time served.
Does he have 2 days in? Okay.
You can accept the offer, Your Honor.
Okay, and I'm not gonna take any action on his ROR, his case he's ROR'd on. I don't know anything. If he has a court date coming up, I'm not sure. Thank you. All right, Mr. Nguyen, does your client wish to plea no contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Henderson, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Is that a yes? You gotta speak
Yes,
up.
ma'am.
Okay. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with 2 days credit for time served. I'm gonna order that you pay your court costs by May 29, 2020, gives you a year to pay them off, okay? If you want to appeal the judgment sentence to the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you, sir, okay? Good luck to you. I don't see any court dates for your other case that you have out, but the PD does represent you, so make sure they're able to get in touch with you, okay?
All right.
All right? Have we heard anything from Broward? Is this just a recall? Looks like he was seen by Judge Carter. Is this Mr. Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
7
Mr.
days ago.
Jones. Yeah, you were picked up on the out-of-county warrant out of Broward County,
Yes, ma'am.
and you were seen by Judge Carter on May 22nd.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we know if Broward's contacted us at all? Or if there's been any communication? Because technically, I believe he's not even entitled to a bond or anything because of the
No, ma'am.
Anti-Murder Act on a VOP with the charges that they are. Huh? No, this is a Broward County, VOP warrants that he was picked up on here, and he was seen on the 22nd, and I believe they had 72 hours, not including weekends or holidays. So it's been a week now, and we did have the weekend and the holiday. I don't know if that adds up to 72 hours. So if he was arrested, well, it's, I guess, is it 72 from the date of arrest, from the time of arrest, or the time that he's seen? Seen? Okay, so he was seen on the 22nd, so the 23rd would be 24 hours, the 24th would be 48 hours, right? Right, so then we don't count the 25th, or the 26th, or the 27th.
Then yesterday
So-
would have made it
72.
72.
yesterday.
So, I mean, because of the charges, I don't even think he's entitled to, it's anti-murder.
But if he's not being picked up, then.
Right, I understand that.
I don't think he can be held if they're not gonna come get him.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I wanted to know what kind of communication was had, so you're saying that the only communication was yesterday, and that's when they notified them?
When was the first teletype?
Okay. Well. I'm pretty sure I have to release him, so. All right, Mr. Jones, I hate to do this, but I am gonna recall this again in the second session, to find out, what's going on, but that's what I'm gonna do today, okay?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I apologize.
Quite all right, ma'am.
Okay, we'll recall you this afternoon, okay?
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
Okay. Well, I know, but, I mean, he's been held for 72 hours at this point, so unless they're picking him up today, it's probably. Well, I'm gonna hold on to it. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Junior Fernando Haregi.
All right, sir, you're here in case number 2019 CF7703AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the PD to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And I'm gonna stay your bonds at $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Brian Larmore.
All right, Mr. Larmore, you're here in case number 2019 MM4510AO. And in that case, you're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to, well, you did not fill out a form for the public defender. Are you planning on hiring your own attorney?
I represent myself.
Oh, you
I don't
wanna
need an
represent-
attorney.
Okay. All right, well, later on down the road, somebody will go through a bunch of questions with you as to whether or not you're competent enough to represent yourself. So at this time, I do find the probable cause for the possession of drug paraphernalia. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And your bond will stay at $500. In 2019 CF7716AO, you are arrested for leaving the scene of a crash with injuries. I do find probable cause. And you're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription. In 2019 CT3994AO, you were arrested for DUI with property damage or personal injury. I do find probable cause, and in that case, again, you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and you're not to have any contact with any listed witness or victim in the case. And your bond in the leaving the scene of a crash with injury is $2,500, and your DUI is $1,000. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Mario Townsend.
All right, Mr. Townsend, you're here in 2019 CF7683AO. You're arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I do find probable cause, and I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to return back to the area of 55 West Church Street. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. Your bond is gonna be set at $5,000. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Joseph Castell.
All right, Mr. Costello, you're here in 2019 MM4509AO. You're arrested for trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office. Is there an offer for Mr. Costello?
Adjudication 3 days, no return. Credit for 2.
And I would have to impose court costs.
Your Honor, he's going to accept the state's offer.
Is he gonna plead no contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Costello, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? You gotta speak up, because we're being recorded.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Yes, Your
Do you
Honor.
understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, Your
Are
Honor.
you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation? Is that a yes?
Yes. Your
Okay.
Honor.
All right, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to Cowboys, at 1108 South Orange Blossom Trail. They've trespassed you, so you have to abide by those trespass warnings. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by May 29th, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off, okay? If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, all right? All right, is this Mr. Price?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you Mr. Price?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Price, looks like the Office of the Public Defenders filed a motion for ROR or in the alternative to reduce your bond. Is the proper authority noticed for this?
They were not, Your Honor. However, we did reach out to
Okay.
the city, and the city's response was they had either no objection to ROR or withhold credit for time served, $223 court costs, $10 filing fee. I did reach out to the APD that was assigned to the case and explained to him that please notify the city on a city case in the future.
Okay. So, are you interested in the offer, Mr. Price? It looks like it's a withhold, which is not a conviction. And so you're not formally convicted of, I guess it's an open container. And I don't know how much time served you have, but,
I've been in since the 17th, Your Honor. It was
Okay.
only an open container.
yeah.
I don't want probation.
Yeah, no. Well, that's not the offer. The offer's a withhold and then the credit for the time that you've been in. Do we know what the number of days is?
In other words, I can get out as long as
I don't know if there's anything else holding you, so.
I just want to be released, ma'am.
Okay, so that's
I'm
the only
losing
thing
weight
holding
back.
you. So it's 13 days? Okay, so it's a withhold and 13 days, and then court costs, I think, what, 223? Is that
Yes, ma'am.
223? And then a $10 fine? Is
Fine.
it, but they haven't filed on it?
I'm just reading the email.
Okay, all right. So that's the offer. It would get you out today,
Thank you.
no probation. Do you want to accept the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll have you sign the plea form.
Judge, can you state his name on the record and the case number, please?
Sorry?
State his name on the record and the case number.
Patrick Price, 19 MO 949AO. All All right, Mr. Price, did you want to enter a plea of no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm showing you this plea form. Is there a signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the complaint in the court file. I am gonna withhold adjudication, sentence you to 13 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 13 days time served. The court costs are $223, and then there's a $10 filing fee. I am gonna order that you pay those by May 29th, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. So, I'm not gonna take any action on the motion, although I wouldn't have been able to anyway, so, at this time, because of the parties. Okay? All right, good luck to you, Mr. Price.
Yeah, before you do next, I just asked Ms. Robin for his criminal history on Mr. Washington.
Yes, he has 12 felonies, 12 misdemeanors, 32 here, which was back in 2001.
Okay, the state has no objection to the motion.
All right, case number 2019 MM240 AE Howard Jerome Washington. All right, Mr. Washington, your attorneys have filed a motion for non-monetary release conditions. And so, Mr. Washington, are you gonna live at 506 Whitman Drive in Eatonville, Florida?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and the state has no objection to the motion, and I've reviewed the motion, heard the criminal history, and I am gonna grant the motion. Make sure you go to all your court dates, okay, Mr. Washington?
Yes, ma'am.
And that you keep in touch with your attorneys,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Lakita Baker.
All right, Ms. Baker, you're here in 2019 CF 7662AO. You're arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm and battery. I do find probable cause, and I'm gonna, well, did you fill out a form for the public defender, or were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna plan on hiring my own attorney.
Okay, all right. So you're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant as named in the affidavit. And your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $100. All right, please tell me your name. All right, Mr. Belcher, you're here in 2019 CF 7715AO. You're arrested for possession of a concealed weapon and / firearm by a convicted felon, and then possession of an ammunition by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. In that case, you're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. In 2019, CF 7713AO, I'm appointing the PD, and you were charged with grand theft, 3rd degree of a motor vehicle, and trespass in a conveyance. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna set your bond at $2,500 on count 1, and count 2 will be $100. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or any co-defendant in that case. And you're out on bond for the similar offenses, 2019 CF 5272AO. I am revoking the bond and setting it at none. Do you have an attorney in that case?
Defender.
You do? Okay. Just making sure. All right, you do have the PD in that case.
You said the bonds on the first case?
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not set the bonds on the first case, thank you. Your bond on count 1 is 3,500, your bond on count 2 is 150. All right, please tell me your name.
Destiny Bowers.
All right, Ms. Bowers, you're here in 2018 CF 15392 BO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a status hearing on May 16, 2019. The judge revoked your release and set your bond on each count. Looks like there's 8 counts at none. Does she have the PD? You do have the public defender's office. All right, please tell me your name.
Amanda Cotto.
All right, Ms. Cota, you're here in 2019 CF 7698AO. You were arrested for trafficking cocaine over 400 grams. I do find probable cause. Did you fill out a form for the public defender, or were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
I'm hiring my own.
Okay, I'm gonna stay your bond at $250,000 and plus pretrial release, so you're gonna have to keep in contact with pretrial release, okay? That's also a condition. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with any witness or co-defendant named in the affidavit. And in case you have not hired an attorney, I'm gonna set you for determination of counsel in a week. If you bond it out, then you don't need to worry about that, but if not, you'll come back before me, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Joseph Gabriel Cruz Serrano.
All right, Mr. Cruz Serrano, you're here in 2018 CF 17277AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your trial management conference on May 8th, 2019. The judge has set your bond at none in that case. Does he have the PD? Okay, you do have the public defender already. I'm not gonna take any action on your out on bond cases, okay? Just make sure you keep in touch with your attorneys out in Osceola, okay? Huh? Yeah, there's no bond on it. All right, please tell me your name.
Superior DeGraffenreid.
All right, ma'am, you're here in 2019 CF 7675AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was previously found for armed burglary of a dwelling with a firearm, grand theft, over $100 from a dwelling, and criminal mischief. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. State, did you want to be heard as to bond on count 1?
Yes, Your Honor, have one moment. Your Honor, I believe I have it as the PBL. Burglary as count 1. Your Honor, the allegations are this defendant, along with a co-defendant, went to the residence of the victim. The victim noticed that their vehicle was outside of his residence. He immediately called 911. The vehicle then left the apartment complex. When the victim came upstairs to his apartment, he realized there was a TV gone and I believe a computer. When the defendant, when law enforcement arrived, they contacted, I guess, the property management, who was able to pull the cameras from the apartment complex. While reviewing the cameras, the victim was able to identify the defendant and co-defendant, but the property manager was able to identify the defendants, the two co-defendants, based on previous interaction. I guess one of them is listed on the lease, but is currently in the middle of an eviction proceeding. According to the victim, that they vacated the apartment in March of 2019, so they should not have been there. While reviewing the video, they were able to see a hand revolver in the co-defendant, I believe it's his hand. However, they will see this defendant along with the co-defendant carrying the TV, and they were in the apartment, I believe, about 8 or 10 minutes while they were present. Based on that, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond, no contact with the victim, no return to that residence. Looks like this defendant is also out on a 2019 MM2669 case. We'd ask that case, the defendant, the bond be revoked and she be held at no bond.
This is the defendant that was, had the firearm.
Is this one?
Yes.
Then yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I do find proof evident presumption
Your
great.
Honor, are we allowed to respond to
Oh,
that?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Mr. Lynn.
Your Honor, at the time, the defendant had a present property right to the apartment. Her name was on the lease. She had not been trespassed from the property. And so, based on that, I mean, she had a right to be there. And additionally, the property that was removed from the apartment, she's indicated to me that she owns and has a receipt for the property. And based on that, I would argue that the proof is not evident and the presumption isn't great with regards to a burglary of a dwelling that you had a present property right to be in.
The state's response would be, obviously there's an eviction proceeding that this defendant, once they voluntarily vacated that apartment in March of 2019, any interest they had in the property would then have been waived. If they wanted some opportunity to come back, I'm sure they could have set it up. However, based on carrying a loaded firearm into a residence while taking property out, showed the intent to commit the crime therein.
I'm going to agree with the state on that one, and I do find the proof evident presumption great. I'm going to hold her no bond on count 1. Her bonds will remain stayed at $1,000 on count 2 and $500 on count 3. She's not to have any contact with any victim, witness, or her co-defendant. Dwayne Teixeira. She's not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition, and she's not to return back to that apartment.
And the co-defendant is on the docket for later on this morning, Your Honor.
To 4518 Silver Star Road, Unit G, 264 Los Robles Apartment Complex. Huh? Yeah, thank you. And out on bond for her battery and criminal mischief in 2019 MM 2669AO. I'm revoking the bond and setting it at none. All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Samantha Fox.
All right, Ms. Fox, you're here in 2019 CF 7712AO. You're arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree of a motor vehicle, and trespass in a conveyance. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or co-defendant. Your bond is set at $2,500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. You're out on bond. In 2019 CF 4817AO, I'm revoking the bond and setting it at none. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Kelly Gooden.
Mr. Gooden, you're here in 2019 CF 7700AO. You're arrested for burglary of a structure, burglary of a conveyance, and grand theft, third degree. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office. You're not to return back to 1220 Columbia Street, Vince's Auto Body and Sales. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm gonna state your bond at $3,500 on count 1 and $150 on counts 2 and 3. And in 2019 CF 7701AO, you're arrested for of a structure, burglary of a conveyance, and grand theft third degree. Again, you're not to go back to that same location at the 1220 Columbia Street, the auto body shop. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness, and you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And your bonds will also stay at $3,500 on count 1 and $150 on counts 2 and 3.
Connor, can he have a copy of the arrest paperwork? Just,
I think that you can get a copy of that from Odyssey and print it out for him. And
okay, I got you.
or the clerks. All right, thank you, Mr. Gooden. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Dominic Harrell.
All right, Mr. Harrell, you're here in 2019 CF 1445AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for grand theft third degree. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, Your Honor, he already posted bonds on those Orange County cases. We just have to address the FAD. He's out on bond on a grand theft charge. The case number is 2019 CF 1445AO.
Sorry, you're gonna have to repeat that.
I'll repeat that.
This is Mr. Jones?
No, this is Dominic Harrell.
I don't have a face sheet for
No,
this.
no, because he already posted his bond, but he's here on an out on bond case that we have to address.
It's the same case number?
Dominic Harrell, Harriel.
It's the same case number that you posted on.
Let me give you the case number again.
I have it.
Okay.
I'm just looking it up.
Can I get the case number?
Yes, 2019 CF 1445AO. It's the green
This
theft.
is out on bond.
Yes.
He bonded on the new law, and then he has a,
State hasn't made a charging decision in this case.
it looks like the same, offense date. I'm looking at, I'm so confused. Cause out on bond base sheet is showing me the same case number, yeah.
Same.
That's the, I mean, the case number on the out on bond is the same case number as what,
I see two different case numbers.
What's the
Well,
case?
the case that he bonded out, that he came in was a 2019 CF 2149AO. That was for grand theft, and a retail theft for 2019 CF 6658AO.
Okay, they put out the out on bond form, they put the case number, the wrong case number. So let me pull that one up. Look at you, Ann. I don't show that he's even been arrested on it. So all I'm showing is that there was an affidavit to issue a warrant on February 12th, and then capias was issued, and that was it.
And that's for the 2000 CF 1445AO.
2149AO.
Is the jail showing he's been served that warrant?
Yeah, he came in on that warrant, he bonded out on it.
So he's at least been served with it.
16201.
Just hasn't been updated in the system.
So what is his out on bond case?
2019 CF 1445AO.
I'm so confused.
I have a
Okay.
Was the one he came in on the 6658 case?
He came in on a 2149AO and
That occurred on it was alleged to have occurred on 12/19/2018. The 1445AO is alleged to have occurred on January 10th, 2019. And so that's the one that he is out on bond in. Okay. All right. Because I have no idea, I'm not taking any action. So today's your lucky day, Mr. Harrell. Don't come back. So confused. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Levonsky Jones.
Sorry?
Levonsky Jones.
Okay. Mr. Jones, you're here in 2019 CF 7729AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for tampering with physical evidence and possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with your co-defendants as named in the warrant. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will be set at $1,000 on count one and $100 on count two. All right, please tell me your name.
Good morning, ma'am. It's Christopher Leone.
All right, Mr. Leone. You're here in 2019 CF 7711AO. You're arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, and trespass in a conveyance. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to possess, you're not to have any contact with any victim, witness, or your co-defendant. Your bond will remain set at $2,500 on count one and $100 on count two. In 2019 MM 526AW, You were arrested for possession of less than 20 grams of cannabis. I do find probable cause. Gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond will remain set at $250. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm not gonna take any action on your out on bond case, Mr. Leone, but make sure that you keep all your court dates and keep in touch with your attorneys and don't come back, or I will revoke the bond, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Please tell me your name.
Brandon Montgomery.
Mr. Montgomery, you're here in 2019 CF 7708AO. You're arrested for possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cannabis more than 20 grams, and possession of tetrahydrocannabinols. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office. I do find probable cause, and I'm gonna stay your bonds at $1,000 on count 1 and $150 on counts 2 and 3. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription.
Your Honor, he's got a out-of-state detainer. He's inquiring whether or not if he bonds out of jail and he is removed to South Carolina, would it, if he was issued a court date here and he ended up missing that court date here?
Well, he has the Office of the Public Defender,
Yeah.
so you need to keep in touch with the attorneys that are representing you and let them know where you are so that you don't get a failure to appear. All right, please tell me your name.
George Quinones, Santiago.
All right, Mr. Quinones Santiago, you're here in 2018 CF 15119AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your arraignment on February 5th, 2019. The judge in that case revoked your release and revoked your bond and set it at none on each count, and I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Mr. Quinones Santiago, your attorneys can file any appropriate motions. I cannot change the capias. I'm not permitted by law to do so, okay? So make sure you reach out to them and they can file a motion for you. All right, are you Mr. Smith?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Smith, you're here in 2019 CF 7681AO. You're arrested for possession of heroin, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. Your bonds will stay at $1,000 on count 1 and $150 on count 2 and $100 on count 3. Please tell me your name, sir.
Dwayne Teixeira.
Mr. Teixeira, you're here in case number 2019 CF 7677AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for armed burglary of a dwelling with a firearm, grand theft of $100 or more from a dwelling, and criminal mischief. And were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
Not too sure. Yeah, I already have one, a public defender appointed
Okay, well, nobody's been appointed in this case.
in this case. Okay.
So did you fill out a form?
I didn't know I had to fill out another one. They told me I already had one. I already had one appointed to me. So.
Okay, but that's probably your other case.
Okay.
So, do you work?
No, not right now. I'm full-time in school
Okay.
through the VA.
Okay. I'm gonna appoint the public defender based on your testimony. Next time, fill out a form if you need to fill out a form, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Probable cause has already been found pursuant to the warrant. State, do you want to be heard as to count one?
Yes, Your Honor, state request the defendant be held at no bond. This defendant, just like the previous co-defendant, went to an apartment. I don't believe he was on the lease. I believe it was the co-defendant that was previously on the list. There's a video where the the property manager identifies this defendant and the co-defendant as walking into the apartment of the victim. The property manager identifies them as walking down the steps with a TV and a laptop in their hand. The co-defendant is the one that possessed the gun. However, the defendant was present with her. The victim, when he pulls up to the apartment complex, immediately saw recognized the vehicle of the defendant and the co-defendant, immediately called 911. When the police responded, they were able to view the video. Based on that, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond. And no contact with the co-defendant, no contact with the with the victim, no weapons, no firearms, no return. It looks like on the 19 mm 2700 case, the state has not made a charging decision. It was that April 1st arrest or maybe March 29th arrest.
All right, Mr. Nguyen.
Your Honor, with regards to this case, Mr. Teixeira he was receiving active mail at the apartment, and he had lived there previously, establishing it as his residence, although his name wasn't on the lease. So we would argue that he did have a present right to be, a property right to be at the apartment. In addition, he was not the defendant carrying the firearm at the time of the alleged incident. And with regards to them, they had yet to be evicted from the property. So we would argue that the proof isn't evident and the presumption's not great, and ask for a reasonable bond. I'd also point out that he is a full-time student at Valencia College and a military veteran.
Well, I mean, I don't have any information before me that he was receiving mail there or that he still lived there. The only information that I have before me is what's in the warrant, and that they had moved out, if they were living there at some point, not a week or two before, but a while before. So,
He has here, his address is listed on paperwork here as that is his residence. Or
have you shown that to the state?
I just was.
And what is that? What is the piece of paper?
It was my last time I was here in court. That was my full-time. That was my address. This new address that's on
But
here.
when was the last time you were in court?
About a month ago.
Okay, so
And I still go there. I talked to the defendant when I did pull up to.
be very careful about what you say on the record. So you have an attorney, you can speak to him.
May I have 1 moment, Your Honor?
I mean, the only information I have in the warrant is that Lana, who is the property manager, knew Safaria and Dwayne because she leased them the apartment.
That's not true.
But the other evidence I have is that they moved out months before. I'm not sure why somebody would need a firearm to remove their own items from an apartment. It doesn't jive with me, you know? they're saying the television was missing from his bedroom, that's the victim. The front door was kicked in. Okay, yeah. So I do find the proof evident presumption great based on the front door being kicked in. There's a firearm being used to remove items from the residence. So I am gonna hold you no bond on count 1. Your attorneys can file any appropriate motions as to bond. Count 2 will be 1,000, count 3 will be 500. You're not to have any contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to return back to the residence at 4518 Silver Star Road, Unit G264, the Los Robles apartment complex. And in 2019 MM 2700 AO, I'm revoking the bond and setting it at none. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Lazaro Villa.
Mr. Vella, I remember you. Yeah, I do. We had a bond hearing together. So you're here in case number 2019 CF 7661AO. You're arrested for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, 2 counts, and battery. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with the victim in the case. And you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1, I'm gonna stay at $4,000 and $150 on count 2 and $100 on count 3.
Your Honor, would you be willing to reduce the bond to 4,000 even on the 3 charges to give them the opportunity to meet the premium with a bail bondsman? It's a $250 reduction.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Would you be willing to reduce the bond by $250 so he would be able to meet the premium, $400 with a bail bondsman to be able to bail himself out? Right now he's indicating he's $250 short of being able to post bond.
So you want me to reduce
It's
count
right now-
1 by $250?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll do that. So 4,000 minus $250 is 3,850, I think.
Yeah, I meant 4,000 total on the, so,
The
Right.
total bond is
So what-
$4,250, and I was trying to see if you can at least reduce it to 4,000 even, so I can try to come up with the extra 250.
I'm not understanding.
So the bondsman's gonna make him pay the $150 and the $100?
Right.
So 250 plus the $400 for the 4,000. So he's requesting that, pretty much can you ROR on counts 2 and 3, so he just has to pay the $400 to the bondsman. That's his request.
thank you, State.
Well, I'll set count 1 at 3,500. And then I'll stay the other bonds. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Don't come back, Mr. Vella.
Okay. Thank you.
I remember people. All right, please tell me your name.
Shannon Varick.
All right, Ms. Varick. You're here in 2019 CF 7706AO. You're arrested for grand theft 3rd degree and resisting a merchant. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond on count 1 is gonna be $1,500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. You're not to return back to the Home Depot. At 350 North Alafaya Trail. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. You're out on bond in 3 cases for similar offenses in 2019 CF 3534 AO, 2019 CF 5061 AO, and 2019 CF 5332 AO. And I am revoking those bonds and setting them at none. Huh? Okay, and I'm gonna appoint the public defender on the 2 cases that they've not yet been appointed on. Do we know which ones those are, or?
3534-5061.
Okay, so in 2019 CF 3534 and 2019 CF 5061, I'm appointing the public defender. Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Jessica Whitfield.
Okay, did Mr. Wall drop bond out? Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Take no action on him. All right, Ms. Whitfield. You're here in 2019 CF 7710 AO. You're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of a prescription drug without a prescription, and possession of amphetamine. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm gonna stay the bonds at $100 on counts 1 and 2 and $1,000 on count 3. All right.
Your Honor, would you be willing to ROR on the first 2 counts with the $100 bond? She's indicating she has the premium to pay on the $1,000, but she doesn't have. She's already contacted a bail bondsman, and she doesn't have the full premium with the additional $200.
That's fine. I'll ROR on 1 and 2. 3 is the $1,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. All right, please tell me your name.
Angela Winchester.
All right, Ms. Winchester, you're here in 2019 CF 7707 AO. You're arrested for driving while license revoked as a habitual traffic offender. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the PD. I'm gonna put you in pretrial release. So you need to make sure that you follow all of their requirements, okay? You cannot drive without a valid license. If you get arrested again, or they tell me that you violated in any way, shape, or form, I will hold you no bond, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please tell me your name.
Dennis Hoover?
Mr. Hoover, you're here in 2019 MM 4505 AO. You're arrested for a violation of a county ordinance. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Mr. Hoover?
Adjudication credit for time served.
And he has 2 days in.
He's going to accept the state's offer today, Your Honor.
Okay, and I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond. Just make sure you go to your court dates, okay?
I will.
It looks like it's June 19th.
I know this. You told me that yesterday morning.
Oh, I
Same.
saw you yesterday?
Yes,
I don't,
you did. Or the day, it was the day before.
oh, okay. Well, I wasn't here the day before.
Then it was yesterday then.
Maybe Judge Wilson saw you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Hoover, do you want to plead no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I'm gonna order you pay your court costs by May 29, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, sir, okay? Good luck to you. Don't miss your court date.
Your Honor, you take no action on that.
Yeah. All right, please tell me your name.
Keith Watkins.
Mr. Watkins, you're here in 2019 MO 1035AO. You're arrested for possession and consumption of alcohol as prohibited in a public place. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Is there an offer?
Adjudication credit for time served.
So he has 2 days in, credit for time served and court costs. You wanna accept the offer, Mr. Watkins?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. Watkins, you want to plead no contest? Mr. Watkins, you gonna plead no contest?
Yeah.
All right, I'm showing you the plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Can't even hear you.
This is the plea form that you signed, and they handed it to me. Is this your signature that you, on the plea form that you signed?
Yeah.
All right, do you understand
can't
everything
even
that's
hear.
contained within the plea form?
Speaking low. I can't even hear you.
Okay, we'll get you some headphones. All right, can you hear me? Oh. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Do you is this your signature on the plea form?
Yeah.
Do you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
You're on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file to accept your plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I'm gonna order you pay your court costs by May 29, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you. Good luck to you.
Okay.
All right, please tell me your name.
Kareem Benefield.
All right, Mr. Benefield, you're here in 2019 MM 4503AO. You're arrested for fraudulent use of credit cards over $100. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Excuse me. You're not to return to, let's see, multiple places. You're not to go back to the 7-Eleven at 6700 Central Florida Parkway. You're not to go back to the Best Buy at 8350 South Orange Blossom Trail. You're not to go back to the Target at 880 Sand Lake Road. And you're not to go to the Walmart at 8101 John Parkway. And you're not to go back to 8702 Vineland Avenue, the Carrabba's Italian Grill. And you're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses in the case. And I'm gonna stay your bond at the $500. All right, please tell me your name, sir. What's your name, Mr. Casanova? All right. Mr. Casanova, you're here in 2019 MM 4504AO. You're arrested for petty theft. It's a retail offense. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. I do find probable cause. And was there an offer?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So you're not to go back to 3101 West Princeton Street, that Walmart. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. And I'm gonna place you into the pretrial release program. So you need to make sure that you follow all their rules and that you comply with everything they tell you to do, okay? Because if you don't, then they can tell me and I can hold you no bond, all right? Okay. All right, please tell me your name.
Eric Keenan.
All right, Mr. Keenan, you're here in 2019 MM 4506AO. You're arrested for petty theft. It's a retail offense. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office. State, is there an offer? I don't.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, and so you're not to return back to the racetrack at 3508 South Orange Blossom Trail. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness at that location. And your bond will stay at the $500. All right, please tell me your name. Tell me your name, sir.
Randy Bergen Jarvis.
All right, sir, you're here in an out-of-county warrant out of Broward County, and they've set your bond at none. They have 72 hours, not including the weekends, to come and pick you up, okay? Please tell me your name.
Christian Fletcher.
All right, Mr. Fletcher, you're here on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County, and your bond is set at none. In that case, Seminole has 24 hours to come and pick you up. That doesn't include the weekends, but I don't think that that makes any bit of difference for you.
Ma'am, can I, when I got out of jail from Seminole on April 25th, I went to probation.
I have
they
nothing
transferred
to
me.
do with Seminole. They picked you up on a warrant here, so you're gonna have to go back to Seminole and handle it. I don't know anything about what happened in Seminole. Okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Anthony Grady.
Mr. Grady, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County, and they have 24 hours to come and pick you up. Your bond is set at none on each count. Okay? Same thing. I don't know anything about what happened in Seminole County. All right, please tell me your name.
Haley Schulte.
Ms. Schulte, you're picked up on an out-of-county warrant. And that's out of Seminole County as well, and so your bond is set at none in that case. And so Seminole County has 24 hours to come and pick you up, okay? Oh, is there another, okay. She have two warrants? This one wasn't attached.
Yeah, she had two.
Okay, well, it's the same thing, so. Mr. Blanchard? Okay. I think, was he just one reset from yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
28th.
All right, well, yeah, we'll reset him again. And then Mr., or Miss Rashed?
She refused.
Okay.
This is a reset from the Hawthorne 526.
Okay, so, yeah, she's been reset, she's refusing to come to court. Ms. Rashad is here, well, she's not present, but in 2019 CF 7562AO, she was arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for sale and delivery of 2 counts of sale and delivery of methamphetamine. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Mr. Nguyen, do you wanna waive her appearance? I'm gonna appoint you for all the cases.
Yes, Your Honor,
Okay.
we'll waive.
So her bond is set at $10,000 on count 1, $150 on count 2. She's not to consume or possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription or have any contact with any listed victim or excuse me, any witness or co-defendant. In 2019 CF 7564AO, she was arrested as well pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for sale and delivery of cocaine. She's, again, not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription or have any contact with any witness or co-defendant, and her bond is set at $7,500, and the public defenders waived her appearance. 2019 CF 7563AO, she was arrested pursuant to a warrant for sale and delivery of fentanyl, and she's, again, not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription or have any contact with any witness or co-defendant. And again, the PD has waived her appearance. I've appointed them in each case. Her bond is set at $10,000. I got one more for you. Thanks. All right. 2019 CF 5681AO. It's a 33-day motion filed by Mr. Williams with Regional Conflict Counsel.
The city's not made a charging decision in that case, Your Honor.
Okay, so that will be granted. Oh, sorry, Gary Donnell Merriweather. And then I have a DOC hearing for Mr. Salvatore Capuno. He bonded? Okay, so we'll take no action on 2019 MM 4317. All right. 2019 CF 5921AO Clint Allen Bartz.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be, did you say the date? I didn't.
5/28.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you said 5/20.
Oh, no, sorry, 5/28.
All right, that will be granted. And 2019 CF 5984AO Ricardo Tyrell Brown.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 CF 5933 James Darrell Rogers Jr.
The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 CF 5938 Martha Green.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 CF 3043AO Roderick Lamar Chambers.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 5/28.
That'll be denied. 2019 CF 5018AO Joseph Mario Scarvelli.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 CF 351AO Joseph Mario Scarvelli.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 CF 5508AO Jerry Dean Freed.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 5/28.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 5699AO DeMarco Jamal Wilson.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 5/28.
That'll be denied. 2019 CF 1215AO Christina Rose Torres.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 CF 1816AO Xavier Vasquez Padilla.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 CF 5861AO Christopher Mauricio Lee Yorkie.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 5/28.
That'll be denied. 2019 CF 5384AO Patrick Tews.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 5/28.
That'll be denied. 2019 MM 3506AO Hugh Johnson Raspberry.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
Granted. 2019 CF 5079AO Xavier Adrian Corral Liza Vega.
That should be denied. The state filed an information and it requests, no, I'm sorry, the state filed an information on 5/28.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 5981 Bruce Francis Bland.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 CF 6015AO Luther Bowler Jr.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 MM 3536AO Ricardo Tyrell Brown.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 CF 5636 Nicole Michelle LeBolt.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 5/28.
That'll be denied. 2019 CF 5721AO Chastity May Eller.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2019 CF 6084AO Roger Lee Penley Jr.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 5/28.
It'll be denied. 2019 CF 4997AO Jarvis David Bailey Barnett.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 5/28.
That'll be denied. 2019 CF 3876AO Tyree Dixon.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 5/28.
That'll be denied. 2019 CF 5983 Andrea Jones.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 5/28.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 5794AO David Perez.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 5/28.
That'll be granted. 2000, oh, and this is my recall, okay. All right. All right, and then, I have a lunch thing, I'm gonna go off the record. All right, we are on the record. It is May 29th, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 2. Can I have the parties please announce themselves for the record?
Kathy Kennedy Swanson, on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
Brian Wynn with the Office of Public Defender.
All right, good afternoon, sir. Please tell me your name.
Good day, Your Honor. Last name Asanoya, Asanya.
All right, Mr.
First
Asanya.
name Anthony, middle initial E.
Okay, thank you. All right, you're here in 2019 CF 7718AO. You were arrested for burglary of a structure.
Your Honor.
And
Okay, can I say something?
you know,
Okay.
not yet. Okay. You were arrested for burglary of a structure and criminal mischief less than $200. I do find probable cause. And did you fill out a form for the public defender?
They didn't allow me yet to fill anything out.
Nobody gave you a piece of paper to fill out?
No.
Okay.
And also,
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender?
That'll be fine, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you work?
At this time, no. I hustle around with transportation while I'm in the street.
Okay. Do you
Like
have
try to
any
pick up passengers from the mall. I got 2 kids that
Okay.
I'm trying to support.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the
I pay
questions
rent.
and then you can answer them, okay?
Okay,
So
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
work. Do you say you have children.
I have
Do
2
you
children.
And are they under the age of 18?
Yes, ma'am.
Do
Yes,
you-
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Do you, have any other income?
Your Honor, I was getting Social Security because I'm mentally disabled since I was 17. I'm diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. I'm diagnosed
Okay.
with,
How much do you get from the government?
I was getting 700 plus. I just got out. They're still working on trying to
Okay,
refund
I'm
me my
gonna
money.
appoint the public defender to represent you, okay?
Okay.
So, I am gonna order that you not return back to the Oasis at Crosstown Apartments at 200 South Goldenrod Road, okay? You can't go back there. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the affidavit. And I'm gonna stay your bond at $3,500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2, okay?
Your Honor, and I think previously he was mental health for his original initial appearance, and we ended up waiving it. Do you know what the bond amounts are on the 2019 CF 7215 case?
Yes, it's $25,000 for the burglary of conveyance with assault and battery. The burglary of occupied is $150. The resisting officer with violence is $150.
Your Honor, can I ask you a question?
I would
Because
ask Mr. Nguyen before you say anything on the record, okay?
I'm trying to make sure that
Well,
I didn't come to initial appearance because of my mental illness, and I'm confused about what they're saying I'm charged with.
okay, well, today you're here before me in the charges that I listed. I don't know about the other cases, so you do have an attorney on those cases. I'm sure the public
I
defender's
don't have any other
appointed.
cases. I
Oh,
was
gonna
arrested
ask,
once.
Has the public
have
defender
other
been appointed
cases.
on those cases?
I'm gonna look
On
it
the
up.
19
What's the other case number again?
2019 CF 7215.
Yes, Your Honor, the public defender's
Yeah,
office.
the public
there-
defender is
Parnell's
appointed.
Is there a name of an attorney?
It's Andrew Parnell from the state, from the public defender's office is the attorney on that case.
Parnell, okay.
And it looks like Judge Carter was the one that did the IA
Right.
on the 21st,
Okay.
okay?
Your Honor, can I ask that you appoint me a mental health caseworker because This is totally something that I never.
I can't appoint, but the public defenders can look into mental health treatment or getting you into a program or anything of that nature. But you do have attorneys, so you need to utilize them, okay? You're not in jail unrepresented. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
James Robert Barajas.
All right, sir, you're here in case number 2019 CF 7721AO. You were arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. Your bond will be set at $3,500. I'm not gonna revoke your bond today, okay? But that doesn't mean that you can come back before me again, because if you do, then I'm gonna revoke the bond, okay? So make sure you keep your court dates. You have a court date, I believe it's showing on here, and I don't know if it's accurate, on June 18th, 2019. Are you aware of that date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So I'm not taking any action on the out on bond case, but don't come back.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Michael Seifert.
All right, Mr. Seifert, you're here in 2019 CF 7728AO. You're arrested for possession of fentanyl and possession of methamphetamine. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. I'm going to put you in pretrial release. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And by me saying that, they're going to drug test you. So if you test positive, they're going to let me know. So, and PTR is telling me different things as to what I need to place on the record, but if he tests positive for cannabis, don't violate him within 30 days. I was told that I didn't have to say that, but now I'm saying that I have to say that. So I'm confused about, okay. So he's not charged with cannabis, but if he does, I'm not gonna revoke the bond or the release based on that, so.
You want to do PTR with random urinalysis, no alcohol or drugs?
Yes.
Okay.
I was told that if I said no drugs or alcohol, that they would test them, and they said that they would test them after 30 to 45 days. That's what, I had a meeting with pretrial release, and that's what they told me, so I don't know what's.
We'll do the conditions, so
Okay.
alcohol, drugs, we can still do it random urinalysis.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Seifert, you need to make sure that you comply. If you don't, then I can hold you no bond, okay? Yeah, it's just no drugs. Yeah, but it's PTR with random urinalysis. Yeah, PTR has been telling me different things of what I need to say, so I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. All right, please tell me your name.
Carlos Grady.
All right, Mr. Grady, you're here in 2009 CF 10477AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of probation, and your bond is set at none in the case. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office. You should be seen by Judge Whitehead within a week to 10 days, could be sooner, okay? I don't know the date. I can't give you a date because sometimes the dates change,
All right.
okay? All right, please tell me your name. All right, Mr. Lopez, You're here in 2019 CF 7720AO. You were arrested for possession of cocaine and trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. Did you fill out a form for the public defender?
No, I don't.
Okay, were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
No, I'm just gonna go it alone.
I can't hear you. You
I'm
gotta
just gonna
speak.
do it alone.
You're gonna represent yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, well, later on down the road, a judge, if the state files on it, is gonna have to make some decisions about that. But right now, I'm gonna order that you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to the Parliament House at 410 North Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness, and you're to abide by any trespass warnings. Your bond will stay set at $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2.
On the sheet that they gave me, it says it's $200 bond.
We'll set him for determination of counsel in a week, just to be safe. I'm sorry?
On the sheet that they gave me, it's $200 bond. That's what it says.
You have a $1,000 bond on count 1 and a $100 bond on count 2.
But on the sheet, it said $200 bond.
Maybe that's what you have to pay a bondsman? I don't know.
Yeah, bondsman.
Okay, well, that has nothing to do with what your bond is set at in the courtroom, okay?
But when the bondsman is paid, then I'm able to go back home?
Well, yeah, you'll be able to bond out.
Okay.
Mhm. All right, please tell me your name.
Isaiah Ozias.
Is Mr. or Miss Martin? Okay, we'll take no action on Miss Martin. All right, Mr. Ozias, you're here in 2019 CF 7722AO. You were arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting an officer, obstruction by a disguised person. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Mr. Nguyen, you had a PC argument as to count 3.
Yeah, with the obstruction by disguised person, Mr. Ozias, he wasn't in disguise, and he gave them a false name prior to the arrest, which I have case law here saying that doesn't meet the standard as to obstruction as a disguised
Did
person.
you look up this, is it 843.03, is that just resisting, or is that obstruction
No,
by a
that's
disguised
obstruction by a
person?
disguised
Okay,
person.
all right, and I believe the state had no objection to ROR, so, but I do find probable cause for counts 1 and 2. I'm gonna ROR you on count 3, and, Mr. Ozias, you're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription, and your bond will stay set at 1,000 on count 1 and 100 on count 2, and you're ROR'd on count 3.
Yes, ma'am. Could I just recently moved to a new home, and I just started a brand new job. I don't have anybody out there to request any help from to,
Well, that's why you have an attorney.
my question is, was wondering if I could just be ROR'd on the first 2 charges. I don't have, that's my thing, I don't have anybody out there that I can
Well,
request
you
to
were
help me on the bond.
Okay.
And I just moved into a brand new home. I mean, I'm
Mr.
renting a
Zayas.
new room, and I got a new job. It's kind of a new start for me. I've been released from prison in September.
Well,
And
it's
it's
not,
taken
that's
me
not a really good start,
Well, I mean,
so,
it's taken me quite a few months to get right. I mean, my wife died in April while I was incarcerated, and I've been kind of really dealing with that. It was a year that she died just recently at the end of April.
okay. Mr. Zayas, I don't think it's an unreasonable bond considering your history, considering that you were just released from prison on, looks like September 23rd of
Yes,
2018. You have 6 felonies, 18 misdemeanors, a failure to appear, 6 unknowns, and you've been to the Department of Corrections 3 times. So I don't think that the bond is unreasonable.
No, I don't think it's unreasonable. I just don't have anybody to, I don't have anybody out there that could put up the bond. I mean, I'm gonna
Okay.
lose my new home and my new job if I can't get out there. I don't have anybody I can call to put up the bond. That's the thing. I don't,
So you have no family members?
no ma'am, I have nobody anymore.
And do you have you have no money in a savings or
No,
bank
I just
account?
started this brand new job last week. And the
Where are
money
you
that-
working?
I'm working for Above All Trees. I just started last week. We just, I landed the job
Oh.
in the same place where I'm living, because that's where they were doing a tree job, and I was able to get over there and, talk my way into it. I just started working. I don't have anybody out there anymore. I've lost everybody the last time I went to prison. I mean, otherwise I'm going to be stuck in here until the next court date. I'm going to lose my room. I'm going to lose my job.
And there's no way he would qualify for a pretrial release? I'm showing that due to his extensive criminal history of EOPs and number of DOC incarcerations.
We did the hour on counts 2 and 3. We did the hour on counts 2 and 3, Your Honor.
Just count 3.
Just count 3.
Okay. You can make a discretion on this if he just wants to verify his address again before you honor. We can do PTR. If you want to do with RUAs, no alcohol and drugs, we can do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you can provide an address, because it sounds like, huh? Yeah, can you put your address on record for me?
The address is where I'm living.
Yeah, because they need to know where you're at. If I'm gonna release you, I'm gonna release you to pretrial release. I'm not
Okay.
RORing you on counts 1 and 2. So
Right.
if you can tell me an address and they can verify that, then I can put you in pretrial release. You will get drug tested.
Okay.
I'm sure your job would appreciate that if you're climbing trees and cutting trees down.
Right.
So, if you can state your address on the record, then, you'll be able to get released without paying a bond.
Right. Okay. Oh, the address where I'm staying at, I don't know it right off the top of my head. I just moved in there. I'm living inside Rock Springs Trailer Park. As soon as I get there tonight, I can call anybody. I can do whatever you guys want me to do as soon as I get there. I don't remember the address. That's my whole problem, and I don't have anybody that I
Yeah,
can call.
that's the problem is that first, if I ROR'd you, you don't have a stable address.
No, I do
You
have a
don't, you can't tell me what it is.
Because I don't remember it off the top of my head. I'm sorry. It's inside Rock Springs Trailer Park. I can tell you perfectly how to get there, like entering the trailer park.
I mean, we have an address here that he gave us. It's in the Apopka.
But that's,
How long you been there?
I've been there, it's been 2 weeks now.
Do you have a phone number?
They don't have a house phone, and I don't have a cell phone, no. I'm in the middle of trying to get all of that.
Okay, so the office is it Woodview Drive?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, we'll do PTR form. We can do
Okay.
RUAs and no act, because
Okay.
it's have office.
You're gonna get drug tested,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Isaiah. So if you test positive, I can hold you no bond, and you don't want that to happen.
No, I don't.
Right?
Right.
Okay. So I'm gonna put you in pretrial release if they're able to verify that. Okay. So just the 2 and ROR on count 3, and so you just need to follow all of their requirements. If they make you call them or check in or whatever
Yes.
it is, you need to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
No excuses.
Yes,
Okay?
yes.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
My name is Felipe Junior Rodriguez Gautier.
All right, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 7723AO. You were arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer. I do find probable cause. Gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm gonna set your bond in the amount of $3,500. You're out on bond. in 2019, CF 2272AO. I'm revoking the bond and setting it at none.
Ma'am, yesterday I went to court for the Seminole County, and after that,
I don't have
like
anything
during
about
the day,
Seminole
I went
County.
with my girlfriend to the hospital. We got out around 11 o'clock. I got all this proof, like my girlfriend could show, like we've been doing everything right. Like I don't want to get my bond revoked because I've been doing everything that
Well, I
the
revoked
court.
your bond because
like
you
the-
got picked up on a new law violation. I don't know anything about
the
Seminole
thing is,
County.
when I got
You
picked
might
up-
want to talk to Mr. Nguyen because you're not helping yourself by saying things on the record. Okay. I'm gonna appoint the PD on the other case because he doesn't have the PD on there, okay? All right, thank you, sir. You can call your attorneys. All right, please tell me your name, sir. Mr. Seeley?
My name is Anthony Charles Seeley.
All right, Mr. Seeley, you're here in 2019 CF 7727AO. You were arrested for driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm gonna stay your bond at $2,500. You're not to drive without a valid license,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Donald Ward.
All right, Mr. Ward, you're here in 2019 CF 7730AO. You were arrested for aggravated battery. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with the victim in the case or any listed witnesses. Your bond will stay at the $3,500. Does Castro have the PD? Do we know? All right, tell me your name, sir.
Castro Antonio.
All right, he does. Okay, Mr. Castro, you're here in 2019 CF 989AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your pretrial conference. Your bond is set at $1,500, and you previously were appointed the public defender, so you do have them,
That's
okay?
correct. Your Honor, is not guilty because my lawyer, Quarles, he said that I didn't have to
this is-
show up.
This is, well, I can't tell you what happened in that case because it's not my case, and But you're gonna have to go see the judge in that case and tell them what it is that you just told me, because there's nothing that I can do about the KPS. I'm not permitted to change it by law, okay?
I haven't burning my house though.
Well, you have the attorneys and they can file any appropriate motions, but I'm telling you, I can't do anything about it. I can't change it under the law. I'm not allowed to do that, so.
Okay, so when am I going home? When I burned out?
Well, you have a bond, so you can post your bond. If you can't post your bond, your attorneys can file a motion in front of the judge that your case is before. It's not before me, okay? Did Curate bond out?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Also, Luis Garcia
Okay, we'll take no action.
and Brandon Singh as well.
Okay, we'll take no action. All right, are you Mr. Butterworth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Butterworth,
Your Honor.
hold on. All right, you're here in 2019 MM 258 AE. You were arrested for trespassing on property or structure of conveyance. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I know that you have some cases going on and there's some competency stuff, okay? So I am gonna ROR you in this case. I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond cases. I believe you were supposed to have a court date today in one of the cases. So I'm just gonna let the judge know that, so they don't issue a KPS. I don't know if they know that you're here, okay? And then you have another court date coming up too in June, on June 20th. So just make sure that you keep in touch with your attorneys and then you keep your court dates. So don't go back to that 7-Eleven gas station, okay?
No, I was just trying to get something to eat.
No, just don't talk about the facts. Abide by all those trespass warnings, okay? Don't go back there, all
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay,
It's in the law.
yeah. All right, please tell me your name. All right, Mr. Lewis, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant. Looks like out of Sumter County. And you have a bunch of bonds. So I'm gonna read them out. Looks like count 1 is 500, count 2 is 2,000, count 3 is 5,000, count 4 is 2,000, count 5 is 2,000, count 6 is 5,000, or 500, count 7 is 5,000, 8, 5,000, 9, 2,000, 10, 5,000, 11, 2,000, 12, 5,000, 13, 500, 14, 2,000, and 15, 500. And then in your other case, your bonds are set at 5,000 on count 1, 2,000 on count 2, and 500 on count 3. Sumter County has 72 hours to come and pick you up. That does not include the weekends, okay? So if you can bond out, you can bond out. If not, then they'll have to come and pick you up, okay? All right, Mr. Jones, I've been told that there's been contact with Broward, and apparently they contacted us, but not me personally, but corrections, and that they advised they're picking you up at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So you're going back to Broward at 10 a.m. That's what I've been told. If that doesn't happen I'm gonna order that you come back to see me, okay? And so, but they
Set
should
him on
be,
tomorrow's afternoon docket?
huh?
Can we set him on the 1 o'clock docket?
Yeah,
still
if
here?
he's not picked up, then I'll have him called back on the 1 o'clock docket, okay? So we need to make sure that you get picked up timely. Okay, Mr. Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Hope you're enjoying your stay in Orange County.
Yes, ma'am, I live in Orange County.
Okay, okay. Okay, anything else? No? All right, we'll be in recess until tomorrow.